Good evening to all of you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for our political forum here at WSAV and joining with our partner, Georgia Southern University. This is, of course, a moment that we never anticipated happening. None of us could have ever predicted that we will be going live on Zoom and pitching over to WSAV.com and Facebook. But because of this new life that we're living, this is just the way it is. So thank you for being with us tonight. We are going to begin with our opening statements. We want you to know that you have 60 seconds to introduce yourselves and tell us why you are running for the seat that you're running for. And we will begin tonight with Mr. Kevin Hyman.
Hi, I'm Kevin Hyman. I am a Savanian. My whole family's Savanians. I am a public school teacher, been a veteran teacher here in Chatham County for 17 years. I am also, with my wife, partner in several business ventures. We own some real estate. So I come in also with a small business perspective. I'm hoping that this well-rounded experience will really lead to great things for us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hyman. Up next, we have Mr. Benjamin Wagner, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If we do not pronounce your names correctly, we want to tell you right now that we apologize.
Well, I appreciate the apology, and it's actually Wagner.
Wagner, I got you. Thank you. I'll try it again later.
I always tell people it's like manager with a W and a hard G.
Okay, I like that. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Lots of years of practice. My name is Benjamin, or I go by Ben Wagner. I am not a native Savanian. I've been here for 10 years now. I am a husband. I'm also a father. I have 2 small children. I live in Midtown Savannah. I am from a small city outside of Athens, Georgia. I grew up there. I also later attended the University of Georgia, where I met my wife. We moved down here about 10 years ago, like I said. My wife works over at Memorial Hospital, and I have been employed with Savannah Chatham Public Schools for the last 8 years. I've worked all of those 8 years at Alfred Eli Beach High School. My first 5 years there, I was a social studies teacher, and the last 3 years, I have been an assistant principal. This job has afforded me some of the greatest challenges and also some of the greatest rewards of my life. Walking through those hallways every single day, I am just overjoyed, and I am blessed to be there and experience all that that a high school has to offer in Savannah, Georgia.
Thank you. I'm sorry to cut you off. We are out of time. But thank you very much, Mr. Whittaker. Appreciate that. Up next, we have Clinton Edminster.
Hello, Tina. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Thank you guys for putting this on. This is, quite a pleasure and an honor, and very important to everybody viewing who's going to be voting, in the next coming up. So my name is Clinton Edminster, and I'm running for 2nd District County Commissioner. For those who don't know me, I'm a small business owner. I'm actually coming at you live from Sterling, India. I'm also a transit advocate. I'm a current board member on Chatham Area Transit. I've been a neighborhood association president for the Thomas Square Starland District for the last 2 years, but I resigned in December so I could run here. So I have a lot of experience working with government, especially municipal, local government, also running or managing large budgets and communicating with people on a daily, really on a daily basis. My platform is 3 things: transportation, community health, and resiliency. I'd love to go into the weeds, but we don't have lots of time, so I would just say go to clintonforcounty.com. I'm looking forward to pushing forward on all those policies, focusing on accessibility, making sure we're all on the table, and cooperation, both internally as a county, but also throughout all of our municipalities. Thank you.
And we thank you. Up next is Mr. Michael Hamilton.
Good afternoon. I thank you for allowing me to be here. My name is Michael Hamilton. I am running for the candidate at 2nd seat, Chatham County Commissioner. I am married for 33 years, been living in Chatham County at the same residence for 33 years. I'm employed by the Frank Callan Boys and Girls Club, and I'm a military veteran. I had the opportunity to be a part of Operation Just Cause and also Desert Storm. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Mr. Tony Riley.
My name is Tony Riley. I am a candidate for the 2nd District County Commission seat, which is being vacated by the retiring James Holmes. I've lived in and around the 2nd District for maybe 40 years. East Anderson Street, Price Street, and now presently I'm a resident of East Walboro Street. I'm running for county commissioner for the 2nd district because I know this is a very diverse district and it has a lot of needs, and there are just an economy of different classes or economic levels of folk here, and so we have a lot of different needs. But I want to note that because the city of Savannah encompasses the entire 2nd district, there's just not a whole lot that I could say, put my finger on the button, and this is what we're going to do or accomplish. But I will and am willing to work with the representatives on city council to move the agenda for the 2nd district forward by cooperating with them and the community groups here active in the 2nd district. I love Waters Avenue, my pet peeve. I really want to get with the folks who want to move Waters Avenue forward as far as economic development is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. I hate to cut you off, but I have to. Okay, up next, we will hear from the incumbent in District 3, Mr. Bobby Lockett.
I'm Bobby Lockett, County Commissioner for the 3rd District. I am running because a promise made was a promise kept. I promised the 3rd District that I would advocate for them. I promised the 3rd District that I would represent them well. I have done so, and I will continue to do so. I have quite a bit of experience. When I say experience, as chairman of the Housing Authority, vice chairman of the Housing Authority. I also was chairman of the board under Reverend Matthew Southall Brown. I was on his leadership team, by which we did a lot of great things in this community. I also have worked very closely with our very present commission. We've had a commission that worked together. We had a commission that got along together, and we had a commission that did many things for Chatham County. I would wish to continue with those efforts that we've done for Chatham County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And up next, as we wrap up our opening statements, we hear from Mr. Brian Reese.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Brian Reese. I'm running for the 3rd District County Commissioner. I'm a native of Savannah, born and raised here, had the opportunity to be educated here. I'm excited about what we can do and what we're trying to do for the city of Savannah and for the county. And I want to tell you that we're running on basically 4 things. We're running on infrastructure, we're running on collaborative government, we're running on education and environment. We're trying to bridge the gap between what our predecessors have done and couple it with innovation and trying to make sure that we move the county forward in a direction that makes it accessible and prosperous for as many people as possible. So I'm excited for the opportunity to be heard. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
And thank you, Mr. Reese. It's time now for the question segment. And we will begin with question number 1, and I'll toss it over to Ben.
All right, thank you. And we will actually start in District 3 here. And we'll, part of your video was turned off on our end for Mr. Reese for a moment there. So let's give the folks a chance to see your face, and we will start with you and then go to Mr. Lockett. But for Mr. Reese, name an issue affecting your district that you believe must be a priority once you take office, and how you would like to address that.
Wow. The one thing affecting our district more than anything else and affecting the entire county would be COVID-19. We have to address the shortages that we're going to have in the budget for next year concerning COVID-19. We got to make sure that we address how we're going to meet those gaps in budget, and how we're going to address making sure that the economy begins to grow again, not only just in the 3rd district, but all over the entire county. So that's the main issue that we have to deal with. But because the 3rd district encompasses 3 cities, Thunderbolt, Garden City, and Savannah, each city has a unique set of issues that they have to be addressed. So in Thunderbolt, we have a water issue because soon their water is going to go up by 200% because the charter for water is changing. In Garden City, we have a road issue. Garden City is the gateway for commerce from the ports throughout Georgia and South Carolina. So it varies depending on where you are.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reese. Now, Mr. Lockett, same question. Name an issue affecting your district.
One of the issues that affected my district was the infrastructure. And we worked very hard and very strong to work with that. For instance, the LaRoche, out on LaRoche Avenue, we have what we call a roundabout there. At one time, there was a big pileup where the traffic would just be very slow and could not move. But now with the new infrastructure we have there, the roundabout, which allows the traffic coming from the various islands to be able to move and move swiftly and move safely. Also, we can go out to Highway 16. Out on 16, there is a improvement out there because it's a growing area. Savannah and Chatham County is a very growing area. In order for it to grow, traffic coming into Savannah has been able to clog up. Now, with the new structure coming in, we're being able to move the traffic much faster, move the traffic much better. For instance, the port, which also in the 3rd district. The traffic in the port with the trucks coming in, pick up and deliver has been clogged up. With the new highways, we got coming in, with the new structure we coming in, with the new bypass we got coming in as improvement, we will be able to improve that. Also, our President Extension, I was met with...
and that's your time, sir. Thank you, Mr. Lockett. We appreciate it. We're going to move on to District number 2 now. We're going to start with Mr. Riley. The question is, name an issue affecting your district that you believe must be a priority.
Once again, because the 2nd district is totally encompassed by the city of Savannah, I'm not sure exactly what the aldermen who now represent this district, because we're both in the 2nd and the 3rd. One of the things that I see is economic development here for Waters Avenue, particularly in the inner city part, which would run from about Wheaton Street down to Victory Drive. Because I've been a resident of this district so long, I know that once the Waters Avenue corridor was a very, very, very thriving corridor there, that avenue. And I would like to see when the city starts to put in SPLOST money and block grant money, that we can do something to bring developers and business people back to that Waters Avenue corridor the way it once was, so that our community doesn't have to leave our community to go out and enjoy some of the amenities and good life things here in the city of Savannah.
Mr. Riley, thank you. Now on to Michael Hamilton.
Hi. I would like to first say my main concern is safety. And my second, as Waters Avenue has been a major area for many years, I would like to see restaurants come back here. I would like to see more business come back on Waters Avenue like it once was.
All right, Mr. Hamilton, thank you. Now to Clinton Edminster.
Great question. I've got 2 great answers for you. The first one is transportation. We need to bolster up Chatham area transit as much as possible. A good transit system is one of the best investments that we can make in our future. And CAT desperately needs the full backing and support of the County Commission. That would directly affect workforce development taking place in District 2. That would definitely help with Waters Avenue. That would help with access to hospitals, access to after-school programs for kids. Transportation, a great transportation program would hugely impact District 2 residents, and that is my #1 priority. I'd also like to say, if we're talking about Waters Avenue, I've been heavily involved with redevelopment on the Bull Street corridor. And if you think Bull Street is cool, then, and it is, then let's get started on trying to figure out how to bring back Waters Avenue in a way that is both honorable to its past and extremely exciting for the future.
Mr. Edminster, thank you very much. Now we move on to District 1, and we begin with Benjamin Wagner. We're going to get it before the end of this this time there. The question is an issue affecting your district.
Close enough. I'll take it. I believe as Mr. Reese does, I think that COVID-19 is the overarching issue that is going to be affecting our community, regardless of which district you are in Chatham County, across the state, across the country. I think that it is still so early in this crisis that we really haven't felt the full effect of it yet. I just read an article today that in the country, we've seen 30 million people apply for unemployment in just the last 6 weeks. How many of those people are in Chatham County? How many of them are in my district right now? I do not know. But what we need to do is we need to target every power that we have in the district, in the county, with all the tools that we have available to us to make sure that we keep people in their homes, make sure that we keep businesses afloat, and make sure that we ride this thing out and we come out on the other side successful. District 1 has a lot of residential areas, it has a lot of commercial areas, and we need to make sure that we keep that, the heart of the county, alive and thriving.
All right, Mr. Wagner, thank you. All right, now we move on to Kevin Hyman.
Yes, I have a couple things I wanted to put as a priority. The first is in my district, floods are a bit of a problem. We need to work on our floodwater infrastructure. I also think that mental health is a real issue, not just in my district, but all over the county. But I agree with some of the other guys. What is happening with COVID-19 is going to be a real problem with the finances. At first, we're just going to have to figure out how to keep our ends meet. Once we have gotten past this, then we can refocus on the things that are important, like keeping our storm system working and getting some better mental health services in our county.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hyman. We appreciate it. Now over to Tina for question number 2.
And that question is, how do you believe Chatham area transit can be improved? What would your ideas of a functional public transportation system look like here in Chatham County? And I want to stay in District 1 for this one. We're going to begin with Mr. Hyman.
Hey, thank you very much. We obviously are not utilizing our public transportation system nearly as much as could be possible. I think we need to expand the stops. I think we need to increase the amount of buses coming through. I have a friend that goes to work, and it takes her an hour and a half from her house to where she works if she uses a bus. I don't know about you, but I don't have an extra hour and a half away in my day to just sit on a bus. We need to make those quicker.
Thank you very much. Mr. Wagner?
We need to expand our fleet. We need to expand our stops. I'd also like to spend some time looking at where these stops are located. Maybe there's a way we can move some of these stops away from some of our more high traffic areas to increase the efficacy and efficiency of our mass transit system. I would also like to look at possibly using buses that are hybrid buses or electric buses. Along those lines, a pet project of mine would be something that is known as a smart bus stop. I think that that is something that some of our larger cities across the United States have adopted, and I think that it would be great for Savannah citizens. It would provide free Wi-Fi, internet access, also charging phones for individuals who may not have regular internet access. I'd also like to see more bike lanes.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on now to District 3, and Mr. Reese, your thoughts.
Yes, the first thing we can do is we can expand Chatham area transit to the entire county. I mean, there's other parts of the county that do not have Chatham area transit buses going into them. You don't have them going into Pooler. You don't have them going out into our far-reaching areas. So one of the things we need to do, first of all, is we need to make sure that everyone in the county has access to the bus line from where they live. The next thing is, yes, we need to increase the amount of buses that we have or our fleet. But not only that, we need to look for alternative ways that CAT can get involved as far when it comes to transporting our citizens to and from where they need to go. It needs to be an intricate part of our tourism industry. And one of those things that we have to do is we have to make sure that our tourists get from the south end to our downtown area, or expand our tourism industry to the south end. So those are the things that I want to see first happen with CAT, that it goes throughout the entire county.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Up next, Mr. Lockett.
Qualified executive director of CATS. The next thing we need is to be able to cater to the employees and the workers who work outside of Chatham, not necessarily Chatham, but who work outside of in the corporate areas. But simply, there's many workers out there at the various plants. Also, you have a need for the workers who work at the hotels, the motels, who need to be able to get out there and get to their jobs. So therefore, we need to increase and serve all of Chatham County through the CATS. And another way to do it is by being innovative. We need to be able to maybe consider hiring and contracting some of that work out, some of the riderships out to Chatham County and to the municipalities. That would be a very innovative way. We got to be innovative with that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lockett. Now we move on to District 2, and we want to hear from Mr. Raleigh.
Well, Tina, that's one of my pet peeves. When I first announced that I was running, one of my pet peeves is Chatham County Transit Authority. The present board members seem not to be sensitive to the low-income ridership. I have taken the courtesy to ride the bus, these different bus lines, for the sole purpose of seeing that it takes 2.5 hours to get across town on the CAT system. Now, I don't know how many transfer points there are, but I don't think there are enough transfer points as there used to be. You know, we had Waters 28, Waters 27, we had Daphne Park number 8, we had West Broad Street, we had Liberty Parkway, we had Barn, and we had so many buses and so many routes. But after they built the modal downtown at the bus station, then I find bus riders trying to hustle from these hotels downtown all the way down to Oberthal and Farm Street to meet a bus. Or
Mr. Raleigh, I have to cut you off. Thank you very much. And Mr. Hamilton, what are your thoughts? It looks like we're having some difficulty connecting with Mr. Hamilton right now. Are you there? Can you hear us? I'll tell you what, Clinton Edminster, I want to hear from you. Earlier in question number 1, I believe you mentioned Chatham Area Transit, and I want to give you your opportunity now to share your thoughts as well.
Thank you, Tina. Yes, I am a current board member of Chatham Area Transit, and I can assure you there's nobody more interested in having a high-functioning transit system in this conversation than me. I literally feel like I've lost friends because I talk about it just too much. Transit would help with so many things in our community. I'm not even gonna list them off, it would just take too long. I think what we really need to focus on is having high frequency routes so that we can reduce the amount of time that it takes to get from one point to another. There seems to be a fallacy among leadership that impoverished people have a lot of time. They have lots of time to wait for the bus, so we really don't need to invest in high frequency. I find that frankly sad and a little bit cruel. I think we need to focus on high frequency routes on the destinations that some of our most vulnerable people in our community are going to, so they can get there on time with dignity, safely, and affordably.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Now, we were having a connection issue with Mr. Hamilton, but I do want to give you the opportunity, if we're able to connect with you now, to share your thoughts before we go to closing statements. Then let's move on to closing statements.
Okay. Let's stay here in District 2 just in case he reconnects with us. 30 seconds for these, so make it snappy, please. And why don't we start with Tony Riley for a 30-second closing statement.
30 seconds.
When you start talking, we'll start counting. Let's go, sir.
I want to thank you all so much for having us here today. I want to thank the listeners who are watching this program today. Go to my Facebook page, Tony Riley for 2nd District County Commissioner. See some of the issues that I'm raising. We have early voting is going to start. We have absentee ballots out. I don't want you to miss out on having an opportunity to elect somebody who's from your district, from your community, from your town, know you, and is very sensitive to your needs, 2nd District. Please give me an opportunity to serve you, so I'll be available for you, so I could represent the entire 2nd District and not just a certain portion of the district.
That's your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Hamilton, closing statement. Do we have you back with us?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know what happened, but I don't know what happened. I'm blown away. I would like to say, first off, thank you for allowing me to be here. I want to talk to the 2nd District. I would love to have you to vote for me to represent you. I know the city. I've been dealing with kids, dealing with the senior citizens over 27 years. I need your support. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here tonight. Thank you.
Michael Hamilton, thank you. Clinton Edminster, 30 seconds to you.
Thank you again, everybody, and especially to everybody watching and staying engaged in local politics. It's very important. I am a great team worker. I help groups think clearly. I feel like I'm a very good facilitator in working with groups. And one thing that we need right now, especially as we try to emerge from this COVID-19, is teamwork and cooperation. And really, that starts with trust. As commissioners, we are one of 9 votes. We all play a part, but our decisions are collective. I can help the county commission be more effective, and we're really going to need it. So I don't want you to vote for me. I actually want you to look at my policies and then vote for me from there. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's go to District 1 for closing statements. 30 seconds to Benjamin Whittaker.
Thank you. My name is Ben Wagner. I am running for District 1 County Commissioner. That's right. It's like manager with a W and a RG. I have been.
Yes,
I've been in Savannah now for 10 years, and I could not be happier with living here and being an integrated part of the community, working in public schools and raising family here. I really am blessed to be here, and I want to continue serving the community, not just as an official in the public schools, but also as an elected official on the county commission. What I will bring to the job is strength, pragmatism, and leadership, and we're going to need that in the days ahead.
Thank you, Benjamin. Final thoughts from Kevin Hyman.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I just wanted to say I've completely enjoyed this. And I think that the primary role of a local politician is to listen and hear what the people around them are having to say. So please reach out to me. Let me know what your needs and concerns are, because that's what I think the job of a county commissioner is.
Kevin Hyman, thank you. Now let's move to District 3. We'll hear from Bobby Lockett. You have 30 seconds, sir.
For this opportunity, I am a certified county commissioner who has spent 66 hours at the University of Georgia at the Carl Vinson School of Government to qualify as a certified county commissioner. Not only am I a certified county commissioner, but I am a very responsive county commissioner. I make the meetings, I answer calls. I've also have worked very close with my fellow commissioners. We have a very unified group there at Chatham County now as commissioners. I work very close with them. I am asking you, the 3rd District, let me come back as your 3rd District County Commissioner.
And that's your time,
Not
sir.
only that, a promise made.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Final thoughts from Brian Reese to wrap things up.
First of all, thank you for allowing me to be here. I want to tell you that I'm truly honored by the people that have gone before me in leadership in the county, but I'm excited about what we can do. I'm excited about where we can go. We have a tremendous amount of responsibility when we talk about governing and being asked to govern in the county. We have a lot of goals that we have to meet or exceed, and I'm asking for your help. At the end of the day, we got to make sure that each and every person has an opportunity to be heard, have opportunity to get it to advance, and that we lead with responsibility. So I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Thank you, everyone running for office in Districts 1, 2, and 3.